Right now, somewhere near you, there's probably food that's been heated, roasted, boiled, or fried before it ever touched your mouth. You don't think twice about it. But step back and look at the rest of the animal kingdom. Lions don't cook their kills. Chimpanzees don't cook fruit. No other species on Earth applies heat to food before eating it. Humans are the only ones. And that one habit might be the reason we have the brains we do. Let's start with the obvious question. Cooking takes effort. It takes fire, time, and planning. Raw food is right there, free, no preparation required. So why would any species bother? The answer starts with a problem every animal faces. Digestion costs energy. A huge amount of energy, in fact. Chewing, breaking down cell walls, extracting nutrients, all of that requires calories just to process the calories you're eating. Raw meat is tough. Raw plants are often loaded with fibrous material your gut can barely break down. Eating raw food is expensive, biologically speaking. Cooking solves that problem almost like a cheat code. Heat breaks down muscle fibers before your teeth ever touch the food. It ruptures plant cell walls, releasing nutrients that would otherwise pass straight through your digestive system unused. In the 2000s, primatologist Richard Wrangham proposed something now known as the cooking hypothesis. His argument: cooked food isn't just tastier, it's dramatically more efficient. Studies comparing raw and cooked diets found that mice fed cooked meat gained significantly more weight than mice fed the same raw meat, despite eating identical calories on paper. Cooking doesn't just make food easier to eat, it makes more of those calories actually usable by your body. That efficiency matters enormously because your brain is expensive. The human brain makes up roughly 2% of your body weight, but consumes around 20% of your daily energy. That's an extraordinary cost for any animal to carry. Most primates simply can't afford it because their digestive systems can't extract enough usable energy from a typical wild diet to fuel a brain that large. Something had to change to make that math work. Wrangham's theory argues that cooking was the change. Around 1.8 million years ago, the fossil record shows a species called Homo erectus, with a noticeably smaller gut and noticeably larger brain than earlier hominins. Smaller guts mean less energy spent on digestion. Larger brains mean more energy demanded elsewhere. That trade-off only makes sense if the food going into that smaller gut was already partially broken down before it arrived. In other words, cooked. The problem is, proving exactly when cooking started is incredibly difficult. Fire leaves behind ash and charred bone, but distinguishing a controlled cooking fire from a random wildfire that happened to sweep through a campsite is genuinely hard. The clearest confirmed evidence of controlled fire use comes from Wonderwerk Cave in South Africa, dated to around 1 million years ago, showing burned bone fragments and ash concentrated in a way that wildfires simply don't produce. That's solid proof of controlled fire. Whether it was being used specifically to cook food that early is still debated. Beyond the energy argument, cooking solved another massive problem: safety. Raw meat carries parasites and bacteria that heat destroys. Populations that cooked consistently would have suffered fewer infections and fewer parasitic illnesses than populations that didn't, giving cooked food groups a quiet, compounding survival advantage across generations, one that had nothing to do with taste and everything to do with simply not getting sick as often. There's also a social theory layered on top of all this. Cooking takes time, which meant early humans had to gather around a shared fire, wait together, and eat together at a fixed point in the day. Some anthropologists argue that this forced social structure, actual scheduled meals, shared space, shared waiting, laid the groundwork for more complex social bonds, cooperation, and even the divisions of labor that early human groups relied on. So here's the full picture. Cooking didn't start as a luxury. It started as an energy hack, a way to extract more calories from the exact same food using nothing but fire. That extra energy, freed up from a shrinking gut, may have funded the most expensive organ in the animal kingdom, your brain. Every other species eats food exactly as it finds it. Humans figured out how to unlock more out of it before it even reaches our mouths. And that decision, made over 1 million years ago around a fire nobody planned to have long-term consequences, might be the single reason you're capable of reading and understanding this sentence right now.